of course, like I'm a homer. I'm not going to ignore that.
What do they see in this guy? This guy sucks.
Prepare yourself for the Raptors Report podcast with your hosts, Julian and Steve.
Hello and welcome back to the Raptors Report podcast. I am your host, Julian. With me, as always, my co-host, Steve. It is December the 30th, and on the Tuesday, right after... Oh, sorry. Yeah.
You're right.
It's the Tuesday.
This is the time of year where time doesn't matter. Nobody knows the date. Nobody knows the time.
Well, the date maybe, but the day of the week, absolutely not. But in any case, yeah. We are back with the Raptors Report podcast, and we have a ton to talk about. We couldn't have scheduled a better time to do the podcast because things are looking very grim. Like if we had to do the podcast maybe 3 days ago, this would be very different. We would probably, have big bags under our eyes from crying so much. And we would have to talk about how miserable the Raptors look. But instead, we've got an amazing slate for you. RJ Barrett is back. The Raptors have won 2 straight against 2 teams that aren't complete garbage. And we can forget the games that just happened where they, lost to the worst team in the league and, had a sustained losing streak. Yeah, the Toronto Raptors are back. They've recovered their mojo. Here's hoping. But we've got a really nice slate of topics for you today. Excuse me. We are going to be talking about the Toronto Raptors and their New Year's resolutions, or the resolutions that me and Steve believe that they should adopt for the new year. We are going to talk about the bench contributions because the bench has finally come alive. It seems like they were in stasis for the past couple of months. We were waiting for anything to happen with those guys, but they have come alive the past couple of games and things are looking a lot different. The Raptors are on a mini winning streak. We'll talk about the 2 games that we just saw and the amazing comebacks in those. We are going to peek at the upcoming schedule. We are going to talk about RJ Barrett, his return, and our impressions of his return. We are going to talk about the newest signing for the Toronto Raptors, Mo Bamba. And we will probably get to Yak's back, even though there are still question marks surrounding that. But we've got a full slate of topics. But Steve, how have your holidays been? Did you have a Merry Christmas?
I really did, actually. It's been very calm, very relaxed. And these last 2 games have entirely saved my mood because I put entirely too much of myself dependent on how the team does. So those games that I'm going to pretend didn't even exist had me so down. But thankfully we're back. And what about you? How was your holidays?
Yeah, ditto. I've been with the family, watching the Raptors. There are some birthdays around this time of year. There are a lot of presents. There's too much cake. There's too much sweets. I am, my diet is completely busted. So, things are fine, but I'm right there with you. Like those games against the Wizards, especially, that game was rough. And the past 2 games have definitely made my mood quite a bit better.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, I hope everybody has had a productive and fun, relaxing holiday season. And we are going to be getting into our first topic, sort of also holiday themed, depending on what you think about the new year, whether that's actually a holiday or not. But we will actually be getting into the New Year's resolutions. So we will start here. If I can figure out how to get this up on, there we go. Okay, New Year's resolutions from Raptors Report. And we'll begin with the first slide. We've started with the most important players here, or the players that are paid the most money. Let's put it that way. Scotty Barnes, Emmanuel Quickley, and Brandon Ingram. So Scotty Barnes is pretty simple. Stay motivated. I'd say that his motivation level this season compared to last season is way better. Okay. Yeah. It is so much better. He is showing up to almost every game with a desire to impact it. But I will have to say that it's not ironclad.
Mm-hmm.
He still seems like the effort level waxes and wanes. Like, is he going to be a dominant force on the inside? And, a lot of that has to do with matchup too. It's not just about, his whims or whatever. A lot of the time, if the other team has like a huge bruising center, it doesn't make a ton of sense to blast into the paint every time down the court. But, I would like to see him be the ultimate beast that we know he can be, because that game against the Warriors was insane.
Yeah.
That was
like Scotty at the height of his powers kind of thing, right? You're just dog on the glass. Every rebound seemed like it was his. Great, awesome. Obviously, he's not going to be able to produce that every night, but I need like 80% of that every night and less of those like 30% effort nights where you're just watching it being like, who is this guy? That's kind of been like Scotty's thing, and why people continue to believe in him is because he can take that step. He can do these things. And that's why it's so frustrating when he doesn't, because it's like, no, man, like you're strong enough, you're talented enough, get to the net. And so, yeah, games like that, I totally agree. Stay motivated, keep the motor high, and all NBA is within sight for him if he can keep that motor up. That's in my opinion.
I think Draymond Green kind of, pulled the lion's tail there, poked the bear with his saw that taunt? The flipping the bird to Scotty Barnes and screaming at him, turn your back on me.
Yeah, because he kept leaving him wide open for three. Just
that's the right thing to do.
Yeah.
I said this in the after the game. I was like, Draymond Green is not a good 3-point shooter. If you got to leave somebody open, he's the guy to do it.
Yeah.
And maybe, do like a light closeout or something where you just kind of run slowly at him with your hands in the air. Don't go get beaten off the dribble or anything like that. But, if you're going to leave somebody open, totally fine. And his taunting, I swear, like that kind of got Scotty in the mood.
Yeah.
And the 9 offensive rebounds, like that put Draymond in his place. Let's be honest here. And one thing to say about that is like the Warriors are puny. They are teensy tiny. Like Draymond is one of their biggest players and he's smaller than Scotty Barnes. So, he can't put up 25 rebounds every night. So maybe lower your expectations slightly. But I think motivation is still number one on the list because he's been delivering almost everything else. So Emmanuel quickly. There's a lot of things I could have put here. But I think the most succinct way of putting it is let your teammates find you. Let your teammates find you. And what I mean by that is I think that he will function better if he is the recipient of the passes rather than the person who is making them.
Absolutely.
And that was very obvious in that game against the Warriors when he was catching those shots and he caught fire and helped the Raptors, really helped the Raptors in the fourth quarter and overtime. That's kind of where I want to see him. And when he had the ball in his hands, both last night and the game before, it didn't look pretty.
Yeah.
And it's starting to really piss me off how he's playing.
Yeah.
So
his decision making can be very bad for the skill level that he has. Like his processing just doesn't see there sometimes. So exactly. I love that. Get up off the ball, let your talented decision-making teammates like Scotty and stuff put you in the spot to score. I get like that he will start to play a bit of hero ball when he's like, oh, we need something from me. And it's like, no, bro, like run around on the perimeter, get open, and Scotty will find you. You don't need to drive, get into trouble. Like, so yeah, I agree. Let your teammates find you. I like the way you phrased it.
At least until Yak gets back, and then you can give it a shot with the pick and roll because I think you can do that. But let your teammates find you.
Yeah.
Brandon Ingram. This is pretty self-explanatory. The 3-point shot after that one game where he caught fire and was blasting threes has been pretty MIA this season, especially the past 2 games. He
had like a couple of game streak where it was dialed and then it fell right back off. So yeah, I see what you're saying.
So, I mean, it's hard to pick something here because I think that he's exceeded my expectations in a lot of different ways, and he's very consistent outside of that. Like he
Yeah.
does his thing,
Yeah.
and I think that thing is pretty productive. So I think just fix the 3-point shot, continue putting those shots up, but hit them more.
Yeah. Because it really changes the Raptors offense when he can also be spacing the floor and hitting
Right.
those shots. Like it really opens stuff wide open. And that's his secret to getting him to like 30 points a game is when he's just nailing a couple threes, right?
No doubt. Yeah, I think that is it. Okay, next up, we're going kind of in descending order from salary, although it'll get mixed up. I didn't put too much thought into the order of it, but RJ Barrett. This one is so easy. Like if there's one thing that you can pick on, you could say the defense and attention to detail and stuff like that. But the free throws, it seems like that is the easiest thing he could fix.
Yeah.
I mean, the form on his free throws is crazy. Like,
you saw that picture, right? Like
I know
the hand in front of the ball. It's
he's blocking his own shot.
Yeah, he literally he does it, and I don't understand. Like his his shooting coach there, he coaches Tatum, Halliburton, Barrett,
Drew Hamlin, right?
Drew Hamlin is the coach of broken jump shots. Like
I know.
He just doesn't seem to want to change it if it looks a little goofy. So okay, but it does not benefit RJ for free throws.
No, and if he wants to keep the wacky free throw form, I mean, just get good at it. Like I don't know what to say. Like the 3-point shot has actually been pretty good. I think that's definitely a strength of his.
Yeah,
just the free throw form. I mean, the free throws just in general. It seems like if he could get to 75%. I would have zero complaints about his. Well, I'd have a couple of complaints, but a lot fewer. Jakob Poeltl, this one was the easiest. I mean, we haven't seen him healthy this season. He has been various shades of hobbled or out, so he just needs to get healthy.
He's gonna have some time off, and hopefully that really helps him. I don't know if he's gonna get any actual work done on his back or anything, but rest at least hopefully helps. Hopefully this isn't a long-term thing because they haven't signed for a few more years.
Yeah, absolutely. That's the big thing, is that the contract is kind of looming over this team. And he was supposed to be one of the team's, main drivers of wins. And this season, he just has not been right. So that is the thing there. Okay, Sandro Mamukelashvili. So Sandro has been, one of the big success stories for the Toronto Raptors this season. He has brought a ton of offense. Like he has been one of the most consistent 3-point shooters, one of the most consistent drivers to the rim. He's like a microwave kind of. You can pass him the ball, and he has the juice to kind of create. Like he can kind of create, which is really impressive for a power forward center. So there's not a ton to complain about, but what I do want to see him get better at, I think he is trying at the max in terms of what he can do on defense. Like, I don't think that he can get much better on defense. He's moving, he's trying to block shots. This isn't an Aaron Baines situation where the guy just doesn't understand he should be trying to help his teammates out. He's trying, but the rebounding has been disappointing, I would say. I think that can be a better rebounder than he has shown this season. And I think that he could definitely really just put more effort into that. So that's what I would say. Rebounding.
Yep, I agree, because the team in general needs to fight a bit more on the glass. Like even in the game yesterday, Mo Bamba coming up with a couple blocks and just nobody rebounding at all, right?
People were blaming him. I was like, what the hell are you talking about? Like
the guy's blocking
the ball
the
was bouncing outside of the paint, and they're like, why didn't he get that? It's like, well, because he's in the paint. Yeah. But okay. All right, Jamal Shed. So Jamal Shed has been another success story, especially last night. Man, he was amazing last night. And obviously he's working on a shot. His shot is the big thing that is kind of make or break for him. And he had a couple of nice layups, and he's fast, he can get to the rim. But for smaller guards, you're never, ever, unless you're like a superstar athlete, like a Ja Morant or something like that, you're never going to be able to be a good finisher at the rim. It's just, that's not how it works. Or if you're Chris Paul and you have like the max craftiness where you can score around the rim.
Kyrie, right? Like
Right,
he's got
exactly,
the crazy touch and all that, but Jamal doesn't have that, right? So yeah,
No.
work on your floater, I think, is a really good resolution for him, because he needs to be able to stop just a bit short, float that over, and he just doesn't have that in his game right now, which goes
he
into
gets blocked more than anybody else on the team.
Yeah.
Because he's small and he tries to go to the rim. Like it's valiant, but he needs that in between the kind of giant slayer. And that's really kind of the missing piece, because he is such an amazing playmaker for the Toronto Raptors. So
yes.
Okay, next up, Colin Murray Boyles. So I addressed this in my most recent video, but it bears repeating, is that he's a really good offensive rebounder. He's probably one of the best on the entire team. And it's kind of like he's like a little Charles Barkley-esque round mound or rebound guy who can kind of like club his way into the paint and use his great touch to grab boards. I want to see that. I want to see that on the defensive end. I want to see he averages more offensive rebounds than defensive rebounds. And right now his defensive rebounding is actually kind of poor.
Yeah.
So I want to see him grab those more defensive rebounds. And I think that's definitely a very doable thing for him. What do you think?
Yeah, I mean, definitely. And the team needs it. Like, they desperately need the rebounding. He was, I think he was top 3 in defensive rebounds in his conference in college last year. And I think he was like top 2 in total rebounds because of those offensive rebounds. His size has never been a problem for him for grabbing rebounds. And yeah, I think he just needs to show out, because obviously he's going to have to adjust to like the NBA size and speed and everything like that. And that other night when he grabbed those, whatever was it, 8 offensive rebounds?
I think it was 9, but yeah.
9.
Or maybe maybe I got confused with Scotty, but yeah, eight offensive rebounds, a ton of offensive rebounds.
Exactly, right? Great sign, but yeah, why can't he do that on a defensive end? He definitely can, right? And I think, potentially maybe he benefits sometimes on the offensive rebound of the Raptors taking weird like early clock threes and stuff where things aren't set, and maybe the way that the Raptors are defending isn't allowing for such kind of opportunity on the defensive end, but the team needs it. The team desperately needs him him, Scotty, Sandro, these guys battling, because now they have Mo Bamba, great, but Mo's not like an elite rebounder. So they'll need the rebounding from these guys. So I agree with that.
Yeah, and I don't know how much Mo Bamba is going to play. If it's like last night, he might not play too much. I think he's just getting acclimated. They might give him some more minutes in the coming games, but maybe they just signed him a break in case of emergency kind of deal, like if they're getting absolutely schooled on the inside, and otherwise they're just not going to play him. So it might just fall to Colin Murray Boyles like it was last night when he and Scotty and Ingram were kind of like center by committee.
Yeah.
So he's gotta hit the boards on the defensive end a little bit more. Speaking of hitting things, Jacoby Walter's got to hit the squat rack. I mentioned both of this in these guys in my video today, but the Jacoby Walter issues are that he is getting bumped off his spot by larger ball handlers. And I really think that it's just about core strength and lower body strength. He doesn't have to like work on his upper body too much. Like when you're battling against like the Cade Cunninghams, the Luka Doncic's, like even the like Keyshawn Georges and like the bigger guards, those are the guys that you're going to be tasked with guarding as you get more acclimated with the NBA. If you're going to be one of the top one of the top shutdown guys on the team, you're going to be having to guard these bigger players. And if you are still like a little too slight, a little too skinny, they're going to bully you. They're going to put you in the torture chamber and kind of get you under the rim and score, or just run to the rim. You get bumped out of the way and you can't stop them. So I think that's really just what he needs to do. And I don't expect it to be like fixed in one season or even 2 seasons, really. He's only 21 years old. He just needs to continue to get stronger, and I have no doubt that he will. So yeah, that's just hit the squat rack, continue to develop that lower body and core strength.
Yeah, no, I totally agree because his instincts defensively fantastic. Like last night, the way he was scrapping, getting on the floor for loose balls, everything awesome. He's got good hands. He can poke balls loose and everything. But yeah, he really, when he is tasked, because he is kind of, apart from Ochai, he's their being used as their main like point of attack defender. He's going up against some pretty strong players who can hit him with a little bit of a push off and get some separation from him. So really building that core strength in his base and everything, which is something I talked about exactly like in the video I made on Jacoby earlier in the year is yeah, he needs to get stronger to compete with these guys on this level because he's just a little slight. So yeah, I totally agree with that. That'll really allow him to level up. And if he hopes to ever become a starter for the Raptors, it kind of starts with being strong enough.
Absolutely. Okay, so let's take a look at the next slide here. Okay, Ochai Agbaji. Find your confidence. And this, I mean, this is a work in progress because I think that he has actually done quite a bit to sort of improve his confidence, especially on the offensive end. And I think that he's kind of doing it the right way. Because right now I just feel like he thinks his jump shot is broken and he doesn't trust it. And he knows that he is going to, like, he's going to have to make an impact if he wants minutes. And the way that he feels like he can make an impact right now is with his physicality and his ability to get to the rim. One of the looks that I've actually kind of liked from them has been the Raptors are using him as the roll man. So he's setting screens for Scotty. He's setting screens for Ingram. He'll set screens for Quickly and other players because, you know, he's a strong guy and he likes to roll to the rim.
Yep.
And I kind of like that. They've been hooking him up with the short roll passes. They get him the ball going to the rim. And, you know, he's not a big, so he can't convert at an elite level, but he is strong and he's pretty athletic. And it's not a bad look for him, I think. So that's one way of doing it. Also, his cuts have been good.
Yeah.
One of the issues actually has been his defense a little bit, which is a kind of strange because he has been a decent defensive player. But last night he kind of got, and also against Golden State, and it wasn't entirely his fault, but he kind of has been getting put through the ringer by some of the other good guards in the league. So, you know, rediscover, find your confidence. If he can go back to hitting threes again, he'll look good in a Raptors jersey or in another team's jersey. But
yeah, I mean, that kind of seems like, especially now with the signing of Bamba, if he's going to get guaranteed, they're even further over, right? So they'll need to make that kind of trade. Makes sense. He keeps getting starts, right? Which I would hope would help with his confidence because he's consistently in the starting lineup whenever RJ's out of it. I agree with you that he has been really good as a role man with the cuts and stuff, and he's almost benefiting from the fact that other teams know he's been bricking from three, because when he sits in the corner, they start to not care about him because they're like, he's going to sit in the corner and he's shooting 20% from the three. I'm not worried.
Yeah.
And then he slips baseline and he's got really good vertical pop that he can just get that pass from Scotty or from Shed or something and immediately elevate and get a dunk. Like, he's been really good. He's kind of, it's a cool way to play off of a weakness for him right now. It's a good way for them to adapt. Maybe that's from Darko. Maybe that's just, you know, him using instincts, right? But I agree. Confidence seems really huge for him because from his first like half season or whatever it was with the Raptors to his second full season where his confidence was high, I think he was one of the better two-way guys for them. Get that confidence back, make a huge difference.
For sure. I could have put that for Grady Dick as well because it feels like he has had some confidence, but I feel like everything for him comes down to the shooting. That is really the main thing that has been holding him back because I think he's made some big strides in other areas. There are not enough to make him a good NBA player without the shooting.
Yeah.
And we've, you know, if you've watched the podcast, we've mentioned this probably a trillion times.
Yeah.
So I don't want to go on too long about it, but there's two things that he's doing right now The above the break threes versus the corner threes. So the corner threes, he's actually pretty money. Like he actually makes those at high level. The problem with that is that corner threes are less available to offenses. They are more tightly guarded. It is harder to get a pass to there because usually there's a player standing baseline. It's tough to, and you can't really move around that much. You can only go one direction if you're in the corner, which is, above the break. So above the break shots are easier to get. And as a result, more teams shoot them more often. His above the break shooting has been miserable this season. It's almost a guaranteed brick whenever he shoots above the break. And that just has to change in order for him to be a competent NBA player. It used to be that he was good above the break if he were taking a catch and shoot, a spot up shot. That's no longer the case. This season, I think even on spot up shots above the break, he's just a brick machine. Yeah. So the guy needs to get better there. So
yeah, it's at the point where when he does hit an above the break three, I'm like surprised, like more surprised than when Colin Murray Boyles hits a three. And that,
oh yeah, for sure,
is that's really bad considering. So yeah, if he can improve his above the break like three-point shooting, that helps the Raptors in. I mean, when he's in transition, they look for him kind of flaring out for three as well. Everything gets better if he can do that. And I mean, like, it's hard for him to keep up the confidence when he, for a lot of reasons at the beginning of last night's game, kept them in it with his scoring. And then Darko took him off, which Darko managed the game fine at the end of the game. Like, you won the game. Great. I don't want to be too hard on Darko there, but it was pretty funny. Like, he starts getting it going and then he's yanked. And it's like, okay, all right, sure.
I think that was just because of like the way that Grady is being used on the defensive end is a kind of a gimmick defense.
Yeah.
Where if he is isolated against, it forces a switch.
Yeah.
And that can get the defense into motion. And I think they're okay with that for stints. But when it gets to crunch time, like the way they won this game was like totally on the defensive end.
Yeah.
And I think if you have Grady out there, it just creates like his defensive impact is approaching neutral because he is a good help defender and they run the system that they do where they are happy and comfortable having him switch off. So, the defense, we'll put that aside for now. Above the break threes, you got to make those. That's just it. That is literally it. So there you go. Last, but well, maybe not last, but we'll talk Darko here. Keep guys accountable. And there was a huge step in the right direction yesterday. A huge step in the right direction. So Darko has had his auto substitutions on for the past 3 or 4 months, where it doesn't matter how well a group is playing. As soon as crunch time hits, maybe 4 minutes left in the game, he's like, boom, put in the starters.
Yeah.
And, I get it. Kind of, for the most part, you want to have your best players in the game. And, you tip your hat and say, good job to the guys who helped get the lead back or helped push the lead up or whatever. But sometimes there is a point at which one player or a couple of players are playing so poorly, or a couple of players are playing so well that you have to make an adjustment.
Yep.
And you have to reward the players who are playing better. And he did that last night, where he took a player that was literally having just one of the worst games of the season. There's a couple to choose from with this player, but Emmanuel Quickley was not playing well at all.
Yeah.
He's 2 for 12, 4 points, like just absolutely miserable, making terrible decisions, not playing very good defense. And as a result, he sat him in the fourth quarter. The Raptors came all the way back from down 10. They went on a 13-0 run and they won the game. So he kept his guys accountable. He was able to, make the correct decision, run with the hot hands, and coaches need to do that. Yeah. Their players will understand if they are team players. That's literally it. That's it.
No,
Keep
exactly.
your guys accountable.
Because, yeah, if anybody has a problem with your coach holding you accountable, that says more about the player. And then you've got another conversation to have, right? Like, winning players don't care when it is the right thing to be done. Like, even a lot can be said about LaMelo Ball, like, oh, he's an unserious player, whatever, right? When they sat him for Colin Sexton, he didn't care. He wanted to win the game. Like, maybe that's because he doesn't care at all.
Yeah.
But
the upside of not caring is that you
Yeah.
don't care if you get benched in the fourth. But
right?
yeah, no,
But
I
that
get
was
your
a
point for sure.
first year coach. I believe he's a first year Charles Lee, maybe second, but making the decision to bench their franchise guy in order for the betterment of the team, and seeing Darko do that. And did you see the quote where it was like, "Oh, why didn't Emmanuel quickly get on the floor or whatever?" And he was like, "Because Jamal Shed was on the floor instead of him." Like,
Yeah.
flat to the
That's
point,
it.
because I'm playing the guy who's playing better. Cool.
Yeah. There you go.
Great.
And listen, it doesn't have to be a shot across the bow. You can be
Mhm.
diplomatic afterwards and say, like, Jamal had it going. I wanted to run with him. And Emmanuel quickly is one of our best players. And, sometimes that's how the cookie crumbles or whatever. You don't have to go out and call your players out to the media. You can just use minutes to do the talking.
Yeah.
Literally. Just you as a father, you can control the way I like. This is so patronizing. Like, I get it. The coaches and the players, the coach is not the dad and the players aren't the kids. But let me use this analogy. Let me cook here. Your kids, they care about one thing, which is media. Okay. And if we let our kids watch TV, play video games, do stuff like that, not a ton, but they get it as a privilege. And I don't have to say anything. I don't have to yell. I don't have to raise my voice. I don't have to be a mean dad or anything like that. I can just say, well, I'm sorry, no TV or no video games today. And boom, instantly they take you seriously. Because if you care about one thing, I mean, with a coach in minutes and players want minutes. They want to be on the floor. They want a big contract. They want all of the things that go along with the minutes. You control those. You can use those to make the players do what you want to do. So you can be Mr. Happy Coach who is pumping your players up with a big smile on your face. And just like Steve Kerr, what do you think Steve Kerr is doing in Golden State? He is not playing Jonathan Kuminga, at all. Okay. And he goes out in front of the camera with a big smile on his face, and he doesn't throw any players under the bus. And he gives excuses for players saying, like, well, they had a rough night and I'm really pulling for them and they're so talented and this and that. He said about Jonathan Kuminga, he's like, well, this is a guy that he's not a low minutes player. He needs to get into a rhythm. And, right now it's not the best time. You can say whatever the hell you want to after that, but you can use the minutes to motivate and get players to do what you want to. And that's what he's got to do.
Yeah. And that's the way to not lose some of the mistakes that Nick Nurse made, where he would lose the locker room, is he would go out there and embarrass a player and say, well, I mean, he's not making his shots, then he sucks, blah, blah. And it's like, if you go too hard on them, you publicly embarrass them. Their agents care. They care. Can't do that. I agree. Let the minutes do the talking and keep guys accountable. That's all I've ever wanted from Darko. And I think everybody gets frustrated when you lose a game like to the Wizards, or you lose a game like that. And then Darko comes out there just like, well, they just played better than us. Blah, blah. It's like, you want more, you don't want nothing like how JJ Redick was saying, it's going to be a really hard practice for them and all that.
So unserious.
Right. And then DeAndre Ayton comes out the next day and goes, y'all bought into that?
Yeah. You believe that?
That is just like, no.
Right? The players are going to call your bluff for sure. Especially guys who just DGAF. Okay. All right. So and there was one more, but we didn't make a graphic for it. And it was for Bobby Webster, and the New Year's resolution was call the Sacramento Kings every day. Just get on the phone and give Vivek Ranadive and whoever the general manager is there a call, and just talk to them about whatever. Try and pull one of those gaslighting situations, or what is it, like someone referred to what the GM of the Lakers, Rob Pelinka, did to Nico. They said that like he was like grooming him. That was someone made that comparison.
Coffee meal
where like it's like, you don't have to tell anybody about this. Don't worry. No, you don't go out and tell anybody. Do that with the Kings.
Yeah.
Bobby, just get on the phone, see what you can do. I know that most of the players there you wouldn't necessarily want on the Raptors. Well, I mean, maybe Malik Monk, I would like him. Maybe Keon Ellis. Try and figure out a deal for one of those players, maybe.
Yeah.
In any case, yeah.
That's how you build a team in 2025. It is picking on the dumb teams. That's how, Oklahoma City is where they are right now. That's like, you have to just find the dumb team and fleece them. That's one of the things. It's like Masai.
If you can't find the dumb team,
don't pick up the phone.
Yeah. Don't pick up the phone. Which one's the dumb team? I don't know. It's like, just leave the phone on the hook. See what happens. Just collect draft picks and make draft picks.
Yeah. But Masai making deals with the Spurs and all that, it's like, they're not a dumb team, man. You're looking at the wrong team. And then we made a great deal with the Kings. And you got that pick, and now we have Jamal Shed, right? And you got rid of Jalen McDaniels, right? So
exactly. Okay, so next up, let's talk about the bench. I am super. Oh, I think here we go. The bench has been a disaster for the Toronto Raptors. Outside of Mamu and Jamal Shed, those two, and Mamu has been pressed into starting quite a bit this season. With the absence of Jakob Poeltl. So even he has not been a reliable bench piece because he hasn't been on the bench very often. Jamal Shed has really been the only guy that has been a productive player off of the bench. And even he has flaws. Even he has issues because he is not a great scorer. And a lot of the time, that is what the Raptors are desperately in need of off of the bench. So even though he is a good player, I love that guy, sometimes he is not the medicine that the Raptors need in that given moment. But over the past, couple of games, I'll say weeks right now, because Colin Murray-Boyles had that excellent game. And even Jacoby has been showing up over the past couple of weeks. Not just the past two games. Colin Murray-Boyles had that huge performance against the Miami Heat, where he got all those rebounds. There has been some signs of life off of the Toronto Raptors bench, and I am just over the moon about it. I cannot believe that it took this long. I want to be happy about it and want to say this is amazing. I can't believe it. But I was predicting, I believe you were the guy who was saying that they would be a positive minutes group this year, but it has only been very recently since the Toronto Raptors have started to get some of that big production off of the bench.
Yeah, and it couldn't come at a better time when the starters start to hit a bit of a wall and everything, right? And then you've got this added boost from the bench. So key. Maybe it's them getting more comfortable. Maybe it's just them, getting into their rhythm. Perfect. But yeah, getting contributions from Jamal Shed is slowly becoming, and he's getting recognition around the league for it. I've been seeing people dropping think pieces about Jamal Shed, which was didn't expect that before the season, because I thought that there would even be a competition between him and Chucky Hepburn, because I wasn't seeing it offensively there for Shed yet. And he's been doing that, specifically with his playmaking. Fantastic. And watching Jacoby come in, hit shots, play defense, Colin Murray-Boyles start to defend the way we know he can defend, the way he rebounded, the way he defend. Mamu coming off the bench, being an incredibly productive player. And then Grady trying to find his way. Ochai getting a bit better. Cool. Those are obviously still.
And even I think Ochai's games, the games where he's actually been good, have been playing with the starters. And I think that is the key with Ochai, is that he is such a kind of complementary player. He doesn't have really any moves.
Yeah.
Other than playing, catching the ball and finishing inside, cutting, occasionally hitting a three or whatever, that playing with the starter is probably the best medicine for him.
Yeah.
But what I've really liked is just that they are starting to get not just the offensive stuff, the defense off of the bench has really popped recently. Like obviously against the Golden State Warriors and against the Magic, the defense from the bench was like nothing short of just like unbelievable.
Yeah.
Like when you have Jacoby Walter come in and just like completely flip the game on its head and like get up into people and like the full court press, like when they break that out, like they were down pretty significantly against the Warriors and against the Magic. And when you're down that much, you got to crank the variance up. You got to do something wacky. You got to do something like desperate. Like it's like pulling the goalie in hockey. You know what I mean? Like you got to crank that variance up. You can't just sit back and play normal. You got to go and get out into people. And Jacoby Walter is the kind of guy that can kind of flip a game on its head like that.
Yeah.
Where his defense and his aggression and his sort of, instincts and intelligence on the defensive end can really take a game and turn it in the other direction. And that is exactly what happened against the Golden State Warriors, exactly what happened against the Orlando Magic. Maybe we can just kind of blend this in with the mini win streak that we're talking about here. So like, we'll talk about like, there was only like a black mark here. There was the Miami Heat game where they won in a convincing fashion. It was the second time they beaten them this season, and they dominated them pretty much both games. So that was like riding high. Then they go into Washington. They lose the worst game of the season against the worst team in the entire league. Everybody like get blown out too. Like this was not even a close game. This was like a disgusting effort. Like everybody looked like garbage. And, just put everybody who were like maybe riding high off of that Miami game right back into the dumpster. Like you get those expectations, get them out of here. And then, right after that, the Golden State Warriors game, it really felt like they had something there at the beginning of the game. RJ was there. He came out, gave them a burst of energy in the first quarter. Then they fell back into the bad habits and quickly was making dumb decisions. And, they weren't hitting their shots, and Ingram was having a bad game. Quickly was having a bad game. And then the third quarter rolls around. I mean, Scotty was pretty good for most of the night, but the third and fourth quarter, when they flipped the switch, that gave me hope as a Raptors fan. That went from like, what is this team? Is this team even like, what should they be doing this?
Do
this
they care at all? They seem so flat, so apathetic, everything. But flipping that switch to decide to win the game. Like that's what it was. It was the decision to win the game. Exactly. The same way after halftime against the Magic. They decided that, no, we're not going out like this, actually. And the bench is a huge reason for that coming in. Like we talked about it preseason and kind of our expectations after what we saw at Summer League, right? Where we're like, this bench is like an alternate identity that can come in, and the starters give you this, but then the bench comes in and completely switches the way the game is going, because they're going to come in like, it's like releasing a pack of dogs, right? And it's like, now mouse in the house, scramble, full court press, everything. And we're finally seeing that. Hopefully it keeps up. But exactly. Like it's
the energy burst.
Exactly.
It feels like the Raptors were in cardiac arrest on the operating table, and like they're more like the offense was just slogging through. It just looked sloppy and low energy, and nobody. Then the bench came in with their kind of just unbelievable, just joie de vivre, like that energy just pumped into the team, and they blasted both the Warriors and the Magic. What I loved against the Warriors is, Jamal Shed took that offensive foul, and that gave the Raptors an opportunity to win the game. And obviously Darko needs to trust his, playmaking a little bit more instead of just dumping it to Ingram every time. It went to overtime. And I think in the back of every Raptors fan's mind, they were like, Curry's going to get scorching hot. The Raptors aren't going to, like, they went on this miracle run and things will fall apart in overtime. And they came out and blew the Warriors away.
Yeah.
It was not even close. Like if you look at the score, you wouldn't have been able to tell that it went into overtime if it didn't have the little OT next to the score, because it was that big of a gap in overtime. They came out and just threw the first punch and just kept going. It was like a knockout. And then against the Magic, like that fourth quarter was electric. I was like standing for the entire fourth quarter, or at least, the last 5 minutes of the fourth quarter.
They held them scoreless for like 6-7 minutes, just like
it was like 5 minutes, 5.5 minutes.
Yeah.
That got my heart pumping. That was so sick. And then to win, like, of course you would have liked it if Brandon Ingram hit the shot and they go up 3 or go up 4 or whatever.
Or if Colin hit his free throws.
Okay, let's not be too rough on the guy. We can go after the 7th, 8th year player or whatever it is, but leave the rookie alone. The thing is though, I think it's very apropos. I think it was very fitting that the Raptors won the game on defense in that game.
Yeah.
They're up by 1. I think every fan in the building was wearing like a Depends for that moment, because like I was going, I don't know. I can't find the right analogy here, but I was probably going to cry if they lost that game after that effort. But like, they won by holding PB No J to
the best slander nickname in the league.
I know, that's pretty
by
good.
far. Yeah. And I was like, my biggest fear was that it would get in the hands of Desmond Bane, because he's already hit like 2 or 3 game-winning shots.
He was injured at the end, or something. So he had to leave. Yeah. Or Anthony Black too.
Anthony Black was hot, right? But they just ran it for Paolo for a 3 up 1. Pretty crazy to do. Sure. But
that's what happened. We complain about Darko, Mose,
Mose is not an offense. Yeah. No. But yeah, like, I don't know if you saw Kirtika's stat of Scotty being first in the league in clutch time blocks with 6. Yeah, that is exactly how the Raptors have been clutch defense. Like, you think about clutch player of the year, blah blah blah, as hitting a big shot, right? Totally, sure, and that's ideally how you'd think to win a game. But blocking a shot right at the buzzer, that's pretty cool. Blocking a clutch moment, having those defensive stands, that's more fun, because you're like, your anxiety level is so high watching that other player dribble, and you're just like, oh God, please get a stop, and you get a stop.
I know, it's
fun.
I love that. And and also there's like, yes, the game-winning shot is a very good feeling. Like that's a great feeling, but also game-winning slander. That's fun too. That's fun in a different way. So your guy was taking the shot to take the lead and win the game, and he
missed it.
That's sad. Okay, well, I guess we get to use a slander nickname for the next couple of days. Okay, so we've gone over the Raptors mini winning streak now, and I dare you, if anybody had the correct picks for the past week or so, they would lose to the Wizards, the Warriors, the Magic, the Heat. Come on now. Nobody predicted that. So let's take a look at the upcoming schedule. Okay, let me quickly share the screen here. Okay, here we go. Let's take a look at the upcoming schedule. So the next game, if you haven't heard the news, Nikola Jokic suffered a knee injury against the Heat.
Hold on, it's not showing it.
Oh, it's not showing? Oh, it's because I didn't share it yet. Oh, interesting.
Can you add it?
Let me remove it and then add it again. There we go. Okay, sorry. Minor. For those who are listening, the website didn't come up. So we have up here the first team that the Toronto Raptors are playing, Denver Nuggets. Denver Nuggets got some really bad, kind of bad news. Really bad for what happened, where Nikola Jokic had like what looked like a really bad knee injury. One of his own players stepped on his foot, and he hyperextended his knee backwards, collapsed to the floor, and was just grabbing at his knee.
Scary.
And you would think like, okay, well, RIP Denver Nuggets, but it turns out he just hyperextended his knee backwards. There was no ligament damage, but he's out for like 4 weeks or something like that. Raptors don't have to play him tomorrow. Also, Aaron Gordon probably still out. He had that hamstring thing I think it was like a month ago or something like that. And I think he's projected to come back on this trip, but I don't know if they're going to be bringing back against the Raptors. And Christian Brown is out as well. So this is a depleted Denver Nuggets team. Of course, they still have Jamal Murray, who is like one of the best shooting guards in the league this year. He's having like a huge season. He's probably going to be an all-star. So that's difficult. But the fact that, their best player, probably the best player of his generation, probably top 5 player of all time, not playing. Yeah, I'm thinking they might win that game.
Yeah.
Jonas Valanciunas, he is their starting center now. And although he is a load inside, I think they'll be able to handle that. So I think they could win that game. And then here come the two kind of the swings here. Well, let me first throw it over to Steve. They win that game, Denver Nuggets?
They win that game. It's okay. I think you'll see a more aggressive Scotty as well. I think when Jokic is in the paint, he's a bit tentative because he had his face broken last time that happened. He's not going to have that. I think we'll get a pretty good Scotty game. And I mean, they're missing 4 key players. Like I think Christian Brown's out. I think you have to worry about Jamal Murray, and their role players are decent, everything, but that would be a bad game to lose, right? Like
I agree.
This is the Raptors have had good luck in terms of injury luck of other teams. Can't drop this one, right? Really good time to take advantage of,
RJ will probably be playing that game as well.
Yep.
So I think they get that one. Okay. After that, these are the kind of swing games here. So the Atlanta Hawks are a wild card. Like nobody knows how they're playing. Like, first of all, with Trae Young back in the lineup, they're like 0-6 or something.
Yeah, the dictator's back. So as long as he's playing, I like our chances.
I have said for years now, like people are putting him in like top 20 conversations, top 30 conversations. I'm like, this guy is the worst defender in the league. Okay. It's between him and bench player for the Celtics there. Oh gosh. They just traded for him on the
Anthony Simons.
Anthony Simons. Those two players are the worst defenders in the entire league. Don't play a lick of defense. I'd say Trae Young is worse because he's smaller.
Yeah.
So I hope they win those games. It's a back-to-back 2 home games. I want them to get at least one of those games. If they drop both of those games, I'm going to be pissed. If they win one game, lose one game, I'll still be a little pissed, but I'll get over it. If they win both games, I'll just, be 7 out of 10 happy because the Hawks have been pretty miserable with Trae Young.
Yeah.
And that kind of begs the question. Do you do Emmanuel Quickley for Trae Young?
I'm so off quickly that I think about it, right? But the
contract situation, let me just quickly
I like Trae Young's playmaking and passing ability. I think that Scotty would eat off of it. I think that would be pretty good. I think he could have, assuming Yak gets healthy, I think he'd have some good pick and roll play with Yak. I would prefer, if you get Trae Young, I'd also like to get Daniel Gafford because it's so much better when you pair him with a lob threat, right? Him and Clint Capella were great for time together. Yeah. Cool. I really want to get.
Here's let me just quickly share the screen here. We've gotten a little off topic, but I don't mind it. Hold on. I'm just going to get the, hold on. We'll switch this here.
But yeah, I mean, as we spoke about last time, you need ball handlers. Trae Young, good ball handler, right?
Yeah.
It's all about,
absolutely.
Can you insulate his bad defense? Does Jacoby continue to improve and become a starter alongside of him? Yeah, I could see it.
Okay, so here's the contract here. $46 million this season. Then there's a player option for $50 million next season, which I assume he would take, and then he becomes a free agent. So it might just be good, just if you want to get off of Emmanuel Quickley's contract, that might be a way to do it.
Yep.
They might be so desperate to move on. And Emmanuel Quickley, I would say he's a below average defender at the point guard position. But let me put it this way. You're talking about, like, I'd say a 4 out of 10.
Mhm.
His screen navigation is pretty good. He's still a small guard. You don't want to put him on like this. I'm talking quickly here. 4 or 5 out of 10. Okay. In terms of point guard defense. If you go from a 5 to a 0, and I'm saying Trae Young is a 0 on defense, and I'll stand by that.
Yeah.
That's huge. People don't understand how big that is.
It is.
It's like saying you're going from, I don't know, a role player to prime LeBron James. Okay. That is how much he screws up your defense.
Yeah.
The Hawks went from like a competent team that looks like playoff bound. They've got all this like juice going. Jalen Johnson's looking like he's having an all-star season. They've got all this like positive energy. Trae Young comes back. Their defense goes into the dumpster. They've lost 6 straight games.
Yeah.
So like, you got to be careful, but I don't know. Maybe I do that.
That's what I'm saying too, right? Like as much doubt that I have in Trae Young and stuff, I still see benefits to his game. I would not be giving up multiple picks for him because I don't think that would be worth it for the Raptors. Other teams, like maybe I could see, like before the Magic did their Desmond Bane thing, I thought Trae Young on the Magic, I like it. Him next to Suggs, that would work, right? But I don't know. Like I would consider it as long as you don't have to give up too much just to get off of like the 3.5 years that you have left of quickly, because he's a better decision maker.
Yeah. Like he would definitely make the Raptors offense look better.
Yeah.
And I think that even as a guy who is not like I think he's fallen off quite a bit on offense too, which has made him look a lot worse. But at the same time, it'd be a fresh start for him. And he's a high feel player that understands, like, has really good court awareness, court mapping. And maybe if you put him into that smaller role alongside Scotty Barnes and other players, maybe it would work. I don't know. But there you go. That's something to think about. Oh my God, look at this. After that, Charlotte Hornets, Boston Celtics. Do you feel confident in either of those games? I don't feel confident.
No, those are 2 hard games for the Raptors. Like the Hornets, I still have nightmares about Con Knipple. So
Con Knipple is a baller.
Yeah,
and he
straight up
smoked the Raptors the last time they played.
I told I think it might have been a Cavs fan, I want to say, talking shit about it, and I was like, wait till you see Con Knipple. And then they lost. Then the Cavs lost to the Hornets, and I was like, thank you.
There you go.
Because this kid is a baller. Yeah, he does deserve Rookie of the Year. Yeah.
Well, Cooper has really
for sure. Yeah, he's really coming along. But
and also VJ has had like a second wind, like he's looking good. But Con Knipple I would have over VJ. I wouldn't have him over Cooper. Cooper has been unreal. So I don't like either of those games. This is a guaranteed loss against the Celtics.
They don't have it against the Celtics.
The Celtics have the Raptors number. No matter how high in the saddle you're riding, like I think the Raptors are playing pretty well the last time they played the Celtics or something like that. But
they didn't even have Jaylen Brown and we lost.
Yeah. And it's they can't beat them. So that's almost a guaranteed L. Charlotte Hornets, I'd say it's a 50-50 game. I think that having RJ back might help there. It's not on the second night of a back-to-back, so RJ will probably play. He has a little bit of oomph in his game. And I think the Raptors will circle this on the calendar and say, listen, we got to beat these guys. These guys think that they're better than us, and we're actually a good team. Let's take this serious. Let's kill these guys. So maybe they beat them. The Celtics, they're just not beating. I will not give myself even an inkling of hope against them because they will just dash my hope. And then we'll do one last one. The Philadelphia 76ers at home. I think they will win that game. Yeah. I think they'll win that game. The 76ers are pretty mid.
Yeah. And if they get that win against the Sixers, you're looking at multiple wins against the Sixers. And if they win that Hawks game, you beat the Hawks 3 times, Cavs 3 times, Heat twice. You're beating all the teams that people thought would be ahead of you. Yeah. So that's great. And all the teams that are going to be fighting for that, like 6th,
clustered in that mid zone.
Spot. Exactly. Right. So getting wins over everybody, mint. Like that is going to cement you over them. God forbid you get down to a tiebreaker with any of them or anything, you're going to be good, because those are all the teams that are right there. And it just feels good to beat the teams that everybody put over you in the preseason power rankings, right?
Yeah, no doubt about it. Like beating the Sixers feels good.
Mm-hmm.
The Hawks, like there's never been a rivalry between the Raptors and the Hawks. They're kind of like that other team that is just out there. Sometimes the Raptors win, sometimes the Hawks win.
Mm-hmm.
But I'll happily take some games from them if they're willing to give them up, which they seem to be. And you know, I think, let me just do the quick calculation here. Win. I'll say the Raptors go on a 5-game winning streak. That sounds very optimistic. You know what? No, 6-game winning streak.
Okay.
6-game winning streak. Then they lose to the Celtics. And I'll say, you know what? That's too optimistic. They're going to lose all the games because I said that they'd win. So I'm going to say 2 wins. They'll win the first game against the Hawks. They'll lose the second game. They'll win against the Hornets, lose against the Celtics, win against the Sixers. So that's a little bit more realistic, and God won't punish me for thinking that. 1, 2, 3, 4, 4 and 2.
Yeah. Okay. I mean, they need to pick up wins right now because that West Coast road trip in the new year is looming, right? Like that dreaded, like where all the games are at 10:30 and we all just like lose all of our sleep. That's coming up, right? And you know, the Lakers have had your number. Warriors, that's going to be a tight game. Kings, who cares? Portland, they've not been much, right? So it's like you're going to have some competitive games and maybe a bit easier ones, but it's that grind of the West Coast thing. You need to pick, you need to pick up the wins now, right? So I would hope for like a 5-1 would be sick. That would be fantastic.
I would love that.
Yeah.
Okay. RJ. We got to talk RJ because he didn't have a very efficient game against the Golden State Warriors, but watching him told me a totally different story than reading the stat sheet.
Yeah.
I saw a team that was running.
Yeah.
I saw a team that was having fun.
Yeah.
I saw a team that was free and easy. I saw Scotty Barnes rolling to the rim and RJ hooking him up with a nice bounce pass. I saw like he has a really positive energy, and you can tell that, like, you listen to him in an interview, you watch him on the court. He has seems like a very cheerful individual who has like a really pleasant disposition, and I think a lot of players like to play with him. And more than that, he gives the team certain things, like a lot of things that they need, that I think a lot of people underrated, including myself. Like, I didn't think that he was that important for the Raptors, but I think he is now.
He's a guy who's never going to stop pulling on the rope, and that like draws everybody else around him to do the exact same. When things aren't going so well, aren't going so perfect, he's going to keep driving the ball. He's going to keep punching it inside. He's going to, and that's really key for when the Raptors are hitting a wall, right? So his return, very welcome. He is not the cure-all that we were joking that he is the MVP and that we're going to go on a huge winning streak after he comes back. But imagine that they did win the next 5. His agent be ready to sign the contract right there, right?
Yeah.
You go out of the lineup, boom, team starts to suck, come back, another win streak. Huge.
Yeah. And also another thing, he gets the ball out of Quickly's hands more.
Yeah.
And like, if let's say there's a person who isn't a good ball handler and, believes that they deserve to have the ball in their hands a lot, like Quickly, giving another talented player who also requires the ball, it'll make that other player feel like maybe they don't want to give up the rock to a guy who like Jacoby Walter or like a role player like Ochai Agbaji or someone like that, but he'll probably give the rock to RJ,
his best friend,
for it. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
And just like cutting down on the on-ball reps with Emmanuel Quickly made him look better. It made him look better.
Yeah.
So I think that that's going to be a big thing. And I'm excited to see what the team does with RJ back in the lineup.
Yeah.
And I think he has been more important to the Raptors' success than I think a lot of people gave him credit for.
Mhm.
I think the shoe is a bit on the other foot, though. Like, as you said, like, people didn't give him any credit, so now they're over giving him credit, and they're
Yes.
like, he's going to fix everything.
Yeah.
I'm doing a Donald Trump impersonation for some reason. He's going to fix everything. This guy, he's the truth.
gonna
He's
be
amazing. Yeah. But yeah, I'm excited. I'm pumped to see him back.
Yeah.
So there we go. Okay, let's get to, because we're already over an hour. That's fine. I like doing a little extra content for y'all. Let's talk about Mo Bamba. I was pretty harsh on Mo Bamba when I did the episode about him, but I kind of stand by those, although he did have a pretty good first game with the Toronto Raptors in limited minutes.
Yeah.
He did pick up a ton of fouls and then had to sit for the rest of the game. And they were saying on the broadcast, it's like he had 3 blocks. And maybe he did, but I looked at the stat sheet after the game, and he was credited for 1 block.
No, they took them away. I
don't know.
I saw 3.
Yeah, it said it
Okay.
on the broadcast, and I was like, I don't remember seeing those. I remember 1 like really big block, but then I didn't see the others. And yeah, I just looked at the ESPN score sheet, and he was credited for 1 block. Okay, fair enough. 4 minutes, 1 block. That's still pretty good. And the thing is that he was standing in the paint where he should be and putting his arms up, and that is what he should do. One of the things that I saw, okay, they didn't rebound very well when he was in the game. There were guys who were like, this guy can't rebound. What the hell is going on? There's like the other team, the Magic got like 4 offensive rebounds. It's like, dog, all of the rebounds were outside of the paint. They weren't even close to the guy.
Yeah.
The rest of the team let him down.
Yeah.
So I don't buy that. I think that he is a pretty good defensive rebounder. Like, obviously, he's standing on the perimeter shooting 3-point shots. So I don't think he's a great offensive rebounder because he's not in position a lot. But the guy is a massive man.
Yep.
All he has to do is just stand in the paint and go like that, and the ball will get to his hands first. So,
and that's all we asked for. We were like, get us somebody 7 feet, and it cost them nothing, right? So I'm all for it. And it's like you get a guy who was drafted high, yada, who cares? He punked you in the G League.
Yes.
So that apparently got him his contract because they started talking to him right after. Cool. He can hit threes.
Yeah,
he can stretch to the floor, so he didn't take any, right? But it'll be interesting to see, like, obviously last game, they're just kind of working him into things, and he got some fouls and stuff. It'll be interesting to see how much he does get used. It does signify that Yak is going to be a minute to recover. And it's like, I mean, his contract doesn't guarantee until the 10th of January, I think. So they still have a bit of flexibility with it. It's kind of a tryout.
Yeah.
Cool. I'm all for it. Like, I'm happy that something happened, that they did something, because we're just sitting here going, Bobby, hello. Like, what do you mean you want Scotty Barnes to be your center and Colin Murray-Boyles to be your center? And like, look what's happening. You're getting punked by Nehemiah Queta like crazy, right? So
they threw the fan base a bone here, like a 7-foot bone with a 7'10" arm length.
Yeah.
I'm kind of low on him in terms of like his processing and like how motivated he is and stuff like that. But you know, they got him for free basically.
Exactly.
Let's give it a shot. Let's test it out. I mean, the Toronto Raptors did this last season with Orlando Robinson and Colin Castleton.
Yep.
And they just played a ton of minutes for them. And, you know, it's honestly like, it doesn't look pretty, but sometimes it's just better than not having a center.
Yeah, exactly.
It's like having like a bad slice of pizza. It's
still pizza.
It's not great, but it's still pizza, and it's better than not eating anything, right?
Yeah.
So we'll give it a shot. Mo Bamba, I'm not super high on. I'll just put that out there.
But I think we're so harsh on these minimum signing guys. Like, like the heat that Bruno Fernando had, everyone's like, he's a bad basketball player. I'm like, yes, that's why he's getting paid under $2 million and like barely getting minutes. That's the point. He's not gonna be some like franchise changer. He is what he is. Cool. Sorry, he would
make a lot of dumb mistakes though, which would be like, That's
But-
what killed me. But he did have like
One dunk on Giannis.
the dunk on Giannis, and he had like a sick block. I think it was also on Giannis.
That's all
I
you
think
need.
he had like 2 sick plays, like where he owned Giannis on both ends, and it was like, okay, he was worth the signing. He was worth the contract.
And instantly, what are they? Fenerbahce, whatever, called him up.
Fenerbahce,
We'll give you a guaranteed deal. Get over here.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. Let me show this comment here. Mamu making $5 million, making the minimum contract guys look bad. Yeah, no doubt about it. That guy is he is shaming all of the other low salary guys.
Yeah,
it's like the parent who's like, you got an A+ here.
Yeah,
why aren't you doing that?
Yeah,
it's like, well,
when I was in university, my mom went back to university at the same time, right? Because she was just like upgrading her degree and stuff. But so this is like a 50-year-old smart woman, and she's bringing back like 100% in everything. I'm just like, okay, well, I don't have that, obviously. And then she gets like honor roll, finishes her stuff, and I'm like scraping by in sport management, and I'm just like, great.
Good job, Mom.
Thanks. Mom. So
yeah. Hey, Mom, I got an 89. That's nice, honey. And you look on the fridge, and she's posted her own grade on the fridge,
exactly.
100%, like A+.
Yeah. So Sandro Mamukelashvili is our mother.
Yeah, exactly.
To the minimum signing guys.
Mama Kelishvili.
That's right.
Okay. Last on the docket here. We don't really have any information, so we'll just talk about this for 2 seconds. Yak's back is still very up in the air. So I want to address one thing, because you said it, and I might have a small bone to pick there. I think that they would have made this signing for Mo Bamba, even if Yak was still like coming back in like a week or so. I think they realized that they need like an insurance policy.
Right.
And this is the signing I think that they can make prior to the free agency period where they can ship players out or whatever. So I think that just the timing of it, I think they might have signed him anyway.
Right.
But yeah, I get a bad feeling. Like Darko gave that quote, which was like, this sounds fishy. He goes like, oh, no one is going to be talking about this in a month or so. This will be yesterday's news. He'll come back. It's like, what's going on?
Yeah.
Where is he? Why is he not in uniform for any of the games? Why is he just sitting on the bench? Where's the press update?
When they first gave that, like all the media guys like S and Blake Murphy and everyone put out like, there will be an update about Yak tomorrow. And I was like, is he dead? Like,
and there was, where's the update?
Yeah. Right.
Where is it?
It does. Yeah. They were just, a couple weeks. It's like, yeah, it is. If he ended up getting some kind of surgery, I would not be surprised at this point. The way that all of a sudden the tone has changed from, it's no big deal to like, wait a second. Right. Yeah. So whatever it is,
they gave RJ that platelet injection,
the PRP,
which seemed to accelerate his recovery process. Mm-hmm. I don't know if there's a similar thing for a back, but they should be trying everything. Back transplant, maybe.
Yeah. I'll give him mine. It'll be a little small, but
if he came back and like his back was like a different like race, like he was black on the back and
like when that sometimes happens in 2K, you glitch and like your arms turn black compared to your body, right? Like that happens. If Yak ends up with that.
Yeah, exactly. That would be pretty funny. Like, what's going on here? Yeah. Anyway,
any case,
hopefully he's back soon, but I'm not holding my breath. I think that this might be a longer recovery period than they're letting on. So, and it's always good to set the bar low. Always good to set the bar low, because then you can't be disappointed. So maybe he's retiring. Okay. In any case, that's the episode, folks. Thank you for tuning in. Here's to a very pleasant 2026. Hope you all have a very fun New Year's Eve. Don't drink too much. Okay. It's always good to, get home safe. And hopefully the Raptors can continue to win games. I am cautiously optimistic about this coming 2026. And here's hoping that in 2026, the Raptors break their playoff drought and they're able to get back to that. Steve at Raptors Shack on Twitter and on YouTube.
Yep.
Sign
on
up to his
everything.
channel.
Yep.
Yeah, on everything. Obviously, sign up for Raptors Report on YouTube if you haven't already. If you're watching this on Twitter or on Spotify, where we are now uploading our episodes to Spotify. So if you tuned it at the end of this or something like that, or you want to listen to it again, it will be on Spotify tomorrow morning. And as always, thank you guys for tuning into Raptors Report, your source for in-depth Raptors content. Cheers.
Thanks.